I'm like a whore for editing sweets.
Shit, it's happening. I have no life, but there's no new information there.
I was going to say literally what is new about that sentence.
Fuck all.
Yeah.
But it's been made very clear.
Especially with what we're going to talk about today. Made very clear. But anyway, hi guys.
Hello.
Third week.
Third try.
Third try. You guys seem to kind of enjoy last week's. Obviously a little bit on our end of not getting up on time. Which we are thinking to.
You were dying.
I was dying, and somebody in my family was also dying. But you know what? We're better this week because I'm not dying, and that person's now not dying. So yeah. But me and Emma are thinking of switching the upload day.
Yes.
To a Saturday, just to give me a little bit more time if we don't end up recording till like Thursday, because obviously we're both still college students and we both still have deadlines and shit to meet. So yeah.
This could be going out on Friday, but it could be going out on Saturday.
Not on Saturday. More fact because I'm shooting a music video over the next 2 days. So yeah. Well we'll see how it goes.
We'll see.
Yeah. Anything monumental happen this weekend?
Monumental? When does anything monumental in my life happen?
Yeah, same here to be honest, but oh well. Any life updates?
Apart from the fact that I spent 5 hours of my life sat doing music theory yesterday, and I'll then spend another 2 hours of my life tomorrow doing it. Couple of birthdays. My mum had her birthday on Monday. My dad has had his birthday today, which is Wednesday, for everyone in the future.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't think anything else has really happened.
Well,
what about you?
I feel like one big thing. So I've watched a lot more Scooby-Doo. We're almost finished because it leaves Prime on the 28th of February. Like, why are they taking Scooby-Doo off of Prime? I ate a shit ton of pancakes yesterday, and I'm going to have them for tea as well tonight because there's a shit ton of mixture left.
Nice.
And what else have I done? I've slept a lot. To the point where my watch said yesterday when I woke up I'd slept 11 hours and 46 minutes.
That's impressive, man. I'm genuinely impressed with that effort. I'm proud.
So yeah, and then I think that's about all I've really done, to be honest. I've watched a lot of Grey's Anatomy as well. I'm now on season 6 of Grey's Anatomy. Yeah. Honestly, I've been doing college work, but I really haven't.
No. I'm going to do some after this, though. But I haven't done any yet.
Me too. I have some sketches to do, even though I take a media course. How the fuck am I sketching? But oh well.
Because you're doing a media course. I have Spanish to do. How joyful my life sounds.
Woo!
Woo!
So, yeah. I think that's a really good way to kind of segue into our topic for this week.
Have a good segue.
So obviously something that's really big that's going on in our lives is we've both applied to university.
Yeah.
And I don't know if our listeners are applying to university with us at the same time, or they already have, or we might have a couple of younger ones that are like, ooh, what's this all about?
Soon.
Yeah, they're like applying soon. So we just want to kind of give you guys a little bit of our experience applying.
And we have two very different experiences.
We have two very different experiences.
I am more prepared than I ever need to be. And I start, which is the reason we really, it was really highlighted to us how much I really don't have a life. Yeah, so apparently I started looking at unis in November of 2019. I don't know why. I don't know why that's a thing. But I did. Meanwhile, Katie.
And then there's me in like, I don't know, I want to say probably around my birthday last year, I was looking at unis, which is like July of 2020.
Yeah.
I started looking at unis because my college, they just like they didn't give us information straight away where like UCAS where like the apply like situation opened.
Which was May, I think. May
Yeah.
2020, I want to say. May or June.
Oh my God, no, I tell a lot. So I started looking at unis in July, but I don't think college gives anything till like September maybe when we were
You didn't get anything. I'd like already semi-written my personal statement by the time you started looking at apply.
Yeah, and like I powered through it one night. I sat at college
You
because this
did.
person
It
came,
was mad.
and I sat and just like powered through it. Otherwise, I was gonna get stressed out from it, so I just sat and did it. And applies like your personal details, like what courses you want to take, like income into your house.
It's basically what it says on the tin. It is the bulk of your, well, it is your application.
Yeah.
Everything, it gets shoved on apply. Everyone knows about track. That's what I think everyone knows about track. Like people who know about uni know about track, but they don't know about apply. They are two things. Thank you, UCAS. I was going to say we love you. Do we? Probably not. Probably not.
I don't know. But yeah. And that was like a big thing for both of us. Obviously, it ended up really early, and I think I submitted my UCAS application maybe 2-3 weeks before the deadline.
The initial deadline.
Yeah, the initial deadline
extended. I applied back in October. I think.
Yeah,
mine was
obviously like
back in October.
For me with you guys, I'd be like, oh, it's like 2-3 weeks beforehand, but I was so stressed. But I sent my personal statement to my tutor like 5 times, sent it to Emma like twice.
Thank you.
And even my boss at work got it. I was so stressed out that my personal statement wasn't good enough. Like my stepmom got it. Hi Tracy. And she's like a teacher, and she looked over it and she reworded a couple of bits for me. And it was just so stressful.
But we will come on to that. I think we need to approach this chronologically. So the order you go in when applying to uni and stuff. So looking at unis, I think we did this in similar ways, but using different things. So I used Unifrog, which was a thing given to us by college. But you didn't. You used something else.
I used 2. One was Compare the Uni, and then there was another one, but I genuinely just can't remember what it's called.
And then league tables. Everyone uses league tables.
I don't think I use league tables. You know?
I think I looked because I think we looked at some together. Well, I say some. Everyone knows the Guardian League table. That is like the biggest uni league table. I definitely looked over that with you. We definitely had this conversation. It was a long time ago.
If it was, I genuinely don't remember if I had this convo. I
don't blame you because don't go for league tables. Like you can to like find uni names, but just don't. They're not good.
Oh well. So yeah, and then well, I think we started looking at a couple of similar ones. I think it's only one. Was it similar that we looked at?
Well, because I suggested it to you.
Yeah,
if you remember it. If you remember right, I suggested it to you. Because
so I feel like we should say where we're going, where we firmed, before we say what unis we've looked at.
So I have firmed Lancaster, and I've chosen Chester as my insurance for psychology and Spanish.
So then there's me that's chosen UCLan, which is the University of Central Lancashire, and that's firmed for filmmaking. And then I've chose Sunderland University as my insurance, and that's for high-end media film production.
Fancy. However, I looked at quite a few unis. So I applied, so as well as Lancaster and Chester, I applied to University of Central Lancashire, the University of South Wales, and Royal Holloway, University of London. But I also looked at Uni of York Uni of Strathclyde and Kingston University. And Glasgow briefly, I think. I think that's all of Newcastle, possibly as well. There were a lot. I covered the country.
And then there's me. That's obviously Emma used all 5 options. You get 5 options to apply at university. Obviously, Emma used all 5. I did not use all 5.
Nope.
And I obviously didn't look at that many either. Like I say, the uni process just really stressed me out. So I applied to UCLan, Sunderland, Derby, and York St John. I literally had no want to go to Uni St John.
Yeah. York St John's just a bit.
That's what I meant. Not Uni St John, York St John.
I know what you meant.
Because a lot of so pretty much there's like a HE course where I go to college. It's like a uni course. And half of last year's class stayed and half went to York St John. So I just don't really want to go there, but like my tutor made me put it down. So obviously I only used 4 of my options, only actually 3 where I wanted to go. So that's something that was very different for me and Emma, is that Emma was kind of, I want to go here and I want to use all my options. And and there was me, and it was like, well, I'm going to put these ones down, but I don't really know where I want to go, and I'm not going to use all my options.
But it's quite different, obviously, with the courses that we do, because there can be quite a big variance in your course and like what universities offer. But universities for psychology, because all 5 of mine were for psychology, but only Lancaster and Chester were the joint honours. Or combined honours, they're called the same thing, basically 2 degrees in 1. Only Lancaster and Chester had those, so the others were just single psychology. There's not a lot you can do. There's not a lot of variance you can have with that, because they aim for accreditation, which allows you to work in psychology.
Yeah.
So that's probably a big reason why I could fill all of my options, because the course, I was always going to enjoy it.
Yeah, and then with me, this is because I'm really stupid. I can't write a script to save my life. I just can't do it. It doesn't happen. And a lot of things where I was looking at as well, like I looked at places like Newcastle, and I looked at just like some random other places, and they had script writing as a section you had to take.
Yeah, a core module.
But here, when I want to go to UCLan, at UCLan it's not it's actually a separate course. Like I still will have to do a little bit, but it's not as many credits as what it is at other unis. So that kind of swayed me more towards UCLan.
Love it. We love that. We love the UCLan. Big up UCLan.
Big up UCLan. So yeah.
Another thing that I think, well, actually no, we both did open days. However, you didn't do all of your open days, right?
No, I didn't.
Did I do all 5 of mine? I did do all 5 of mine as online open days. That's probably a very big thing we should preface. Obviously, we have applied to uni throughout COVID, which has meant that we haven't seen. We didn't get to see. Well, Katie hasn't seen any at first, I don't think. I got to see 2 that I applied to, but only 1. I've only seen my firm out for my firm and insurance. Open days. Online open days are fun.
So my online open days, I did the Derby open day and I did the Sunderland open day. And then I actually also did, a couple of weeks ago, I did a media creative one for Sunderland University, which is like their like first one they've ever done. It was really fucking interesting. But actually my one for Derby, my one for York St John, I was actually at a wedding. I was working at a wedding. So I couldn't go to them. I couldn't do them, which is kind of sad, but also kind of nuts at the same time. I hate open days. Open days annoy me.
No, it's just the online ones. Like in-person ones, I have an older brother who I've mentioned before, and he went to university, and I went to some of his open days with him. So he obviously had them in person because COVID wasn't a thing. And it's very different, and it's not. Online open days will never compare to in person, because you actually get to speak to the people who will be teaching you, like, face to face. Q&A, Teams Q&As. No. Hate them. Honestly, I've done too many.
Yeah.
But yeah, online open days are just strange because it's just like most of the content they put on you can already find. It's only really the calls where you find new information, and even then it's like very little new information.
Yeah.
Because sometimes they don't understand what you're trying to say. But yeah, I don't know. What was your, like, just general thing with it?
I struggled, especially with one uni. I'm not naming because I'm not gonna like call them out because
yeah,
open day was really fun. But I got a little bit confused. So obviously I take media, and like what I needed to hear was actually under their journalism like section.
yeah.
And to me, I don't take journalism right now. I was meant to take journalism and I got put in the wrong group. But then I just didn't want to move out the group I was in. Um, but to me, media, it's yes, it is also journalism, but it should have been categorized as like media and journalism, or like I don't know. I feel
Yeah.
like it was very narrow, and if I hadn't have clicked on the journalism bit, 'cause I'm also interested in journalism, I wouldn't have found the information I needed, if that makes sense.
Like the actual what you actually wanted
Yeah, what I
to
actually
know.
wanted. Um,
Yeah.
And then also with UCLan, obviously I didn't do an open day for them, but I have like found out so much information just off their website. Like they've just redone their website.
You can have probably, I'd say, one of the best websites to navigate and
That's the thing.
actually find
I don't
information.
really like their website.
Do you not? I
No,
think
it
some
took me
uni
a
websites are
while.
hard to navigate though. Like they're really difficult.
Mm, I have to look through the pictures, and I was like, this is where I want.
Yeah.
um,
This is
this,
it.
this is
I
it.
no, I get you, because I was like that with Lancaster, just with like the campus as a whole.
Yeah.
Lancaster's quite weird because they don't have tons and tons of photos of like their facilities, which is really odd. Like they have some obviously because like it's really bad if you don't. But I just fell in love with the campus. But it's quite funny because my dad likens the centre of campus to Billingham Town Centre. For anyone up north, yeah, the Alexandra Square in Lancaster Uni looks like part of the town centre of Billingham. It really does. It's nicer than Billingham, but
Yeah, I was gonna
it's a
say.
similar thing.
Right. Okay.
But yeah, like it's. I think you can find a lot. Like you can get a lot more from photos than like I think we initially thought we would.
Yeah, for sure.
Which is where I'll come on to campus tours actually, because I've got this like scribbled. I did I did an official one for Lancaster and an unofficial one for UCLan. And by unofficial, I mean UCLan is a city university. It's not on a separate campus. It is just in the city. So me and my dad went to we were going to Lancaster for obviously the actual one. But we were like, we're over there. Let's go to Preston, which is where UCLan is based. Partially, not entirely, but. And we just walked around in the worst rain ever. We were soaked. It was horrific.
Oh, I can vouch for that because I was in Saltburn while Emma was doing that.
Awful. The weather, not the city or the campus, the weather. Oh my god.
And that's what England is for you.
That is what the Northwest is like. Yeah. But I liked both campuses, despite the fact that it was absolutely pissing it down.
Yeah.
But going round the campuses, it didn't look any different to the photos. So it's really nice to see unis that don't make the photos look better than it actually is in real life.
Like what it is. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, you didn't get to. Obviously, they do online campus tours, which are strange. So I did one for Chester.
I've looked around my accommodation.
Yeah.
Like online. And like I've looked like a little bit like around the city. Just like I've just things are stupid. I've Google Mapped it.
Right? Oh
and
yeah, I did that for Chester.
and I've looked around the city and everything, and I found the Wetherspoons, so I'm good.
Yeah, I don't think there's a spoons far from.
So, I haven't done like a physical tour. Honestly, if I can, before I go to uni, I will be going to take one. Or even just going to Preston and looking around.
Yeah.
It's like my dad said that he would take me. Like that would be something I would really love to do if Bojo lets us out of lockdown.
Well, if Corona would like to kindly, fuck off, you know, like kindly. But yeah, because I think that's just been the weirdest bit, is not actually being able to go and see unis in person, or even the cities. I've never been. Well, I have been to Chester, but I haven't been into the centre of Chester.
I've never been to Preston. My older brother didn't do university. He did the Open University, so he just stayed at college. So I've never been to like different universities, really. So
yeah.
But
yeah, so that was kind of our experience of how we got to like actually experience the uni, but without actually experiencing the uni because COVID and social distancing. Should we move on to the stressful bit?
Oh my god, yes.
The UCAS process itself, the actual physical thing itself, which it doesn't seem like it's going to be that bad when you're like first setting up parts of your apply and it's like, oh, it's this like ticky box thing. Oh, I'll put in a couple words. And then you realise that you've got this lovely fat personal statement to do.
The thing is, that wasn't even the worst bit for me.
What was the worst bit for you?
So obviously, when you have to put your qualifications in,
oh, that was a ball ache.
Well, obviously, because I take different modules, I don't just take media. I take animation, film.
Yeah.
I had to literally put every single grade I got in last year. So I sat for a good like hour just inputting grades and targeted grades for this year.
Yeah.
And
well, you just put in pending for grades for this year, but
no, I had to put, because I've already technically got a grade this year, so I had to like put some stuff in and do other things because technically I've already got a couple of grades this year.
Right.
But yeah, anyway, personal statements.
This is where our experiences differ, because obviously I do A levels, so I just put them in as they are.
And I take a technical diploma.
Yeah, it's a Cambridge technical, isn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty much. It's just kind of like a posh A level because I get 3 A levels at the end of it.
Yeah, kind of, but it's practical still.
But I still get 3 A levels. It's like 3 A levels in certain things I get.
Well, you get the equivalent to 3 A levels.
No,
you don't get an A level.
No, I do. I get 3 A levels at the end of it. That's how it works.
Your course confuses me because it's not an A level course. It's
not
an OCR.
It's not an A level at all. But I get 3 A levels at the end of it.
That's fucking weird. Anyway. Yeah, personal statement was great fun. No matter how many resources you find online, there will never be enough.
No.
To actually, because you kind of want something to tell you what to write, and nothing tells you what to write. And then you sit in front of your laptop for like 3 hours just going, I haven't written a word. What do I do?
I hand wrote mine at first.
You what?
I hand wrote my personal statement.
Did you actually?
Yeah.
That's grim.
That's pretty grim.
To be fair, if I'd handwritten it, I think I probably would have done it a lot quicker. To be fair.
Yeah, honestly. I got really, like I said earlier, I just got really stressed out about it and just like it's not a stressful, well, it is a stressful process if you get it into your headspace that it's a stressful process.
Yeah. 100%.
And I got it into my head that it was like a stressful thing that needed to be stressful. And it really, when I look back on it, it's like, okay, what the fuck? Like,
I mean, no, it was stressful. I hated writing my personal statement. It was awful. But I did mine over the summer. I did the basis of mine was done over the summer. And then I took another look at it and went, what the hell have I written? And rewrote it pretty much.
I had to rewrite mine. So I wrote it, got halfway through, and then my computer miraculously lost it.
Yeah, I honestly, qualifications were awful to put in though, but I think that's just because putting in GCSEs was bad. Then I also had to put in my music qualifications. Qualifications I haven't done yet. I haven't done my grade 6 and 7. I won't be doing it until July, and technically it's now wrong because I'm not even doing that exam anymore. But oh well, it's fine. They don't count it anyway, so
It's alright then. So yeah, I feel like, well, obviously once personal statements go in, literally personal statement was like the last thing that went into mine.
yeah.
And then it's submitting it, and I swear to God, pressing that button to say I'm finished, because submit this was the scariest fucking thing I've ever done.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like the nicest thing because it's out of your hands. It's like, well, not my fucking problem.
Well, yeah,
it is, but
and obviously it doesn't go straight to UCAS.
No, it doesn't.
It bounces to your tutor. Or like
this is for people who apply through a college.
Through a college, yes. So if people apply through a college, it goes straight to your college lecturer, tutor, whoever's decided to do.
It went to our office. It goes to our like office, I think, and then they just kind of call people. But I think that's just because of how our college works. It so my tutor isn't my technical referee. When you look on UCAS, it's
this Mike guy on mine.
I'm pretty sure it's one of our business teachers, hilariously, but yeah. And then your tutor gets hounded for references. So then they hound your teacher for references.
Well, see, the thing is, so obviously, because obviously I take media, so the head of media obviously does all of the references for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
The head of media was also my tutor. So my tutor technically did my reference. So obviously she could say a lot more personal stuff about us because she like knows us more on like a one-to-one basis than she does maybe Frank from 3 classrooms over, who she doesn't teach because she doesn't teach games. She's head of games and media and she doesn't teach games.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I don't know. But
and then it gets really scary
when it's actually gone.
And it pings to UCAS and you get an email saying, we have received your application.
And then you crap yourself many times. Every time you get a UCAS email, even if it's not a track email, every time you get any email, like a promotional email from UCAS, you shit yourself.
Yeah.
And I still get them, and I still shit myself. I've had all of my offers.
Like, I got on the other day, and it was like, I think it's from UCLan, though I don't think it's actually from UCAS. It was like, welcome to the offer holder community. I genuinely thought they were to tell me I didn't have my place anymore. Like, that's the thought that went through my head, was that I didn't have my place anymore.
No. Arguably the worst one was when you choose your firm and insurance and you get an email from UCAS saying something, your application, an aspect of your application has been changed, and you're like, what?
And you're like, no shit, I did it.
Yeah, it's like, I have just done this change.
It's like,
on crack.
I don't know why, but for me, I think my applications apart from one came back pretty quickly. So like I sent mine off on maybe like a Tuesday. I literally got one the next day, which was my Sunderland University application. They came back saying, I have a place on a conditional offer. And then 2 days later after that, I got my UCLan offer, which I literally sat and cried about.
She did. I remember.
And then I got I think it's like a week later, I got my York St John one, which I was like, yeah, okay, brilliant. And then I was just waiting for fucking ever to get my Derby my Derby acceptance. I don't know if I got accepted to Derby because I pulled my application.
Yeah.
So
that was one of your top as well at one point.
It was. I wanted to go there at one point, but this facility is just kind of the one as good as Sunderland and UCLan.
Yeah.
So
yeah. I sent mine off on a Friday. Well, UCAS received it on a Friday. So yeah, I got that email then. I got my Chester offer the Monday after. So that's conditional. I then got what came next? South Wales, my Uni of South Wales, which was my only unconditional offer. Apparently they've given out absolutely loads of them. So I got that one on the Wednesday. I then got my UCLan one the day after that. And then I had to sit and wait
Emma
for...
also applied to UCLan as well.
Yes, I did. And then I had to wait 2 weeks. Did I wait 2 weeks? Yeah, I waited about 2 weeks for my Lancaster one to come. That came on the Monday. And then I was like, just Royal Holloway, please, please. I wasn't expecting to actually get an offer. I did. I got an offer that was considerably lower than I was expecting it to be. But that came on the Friday. So yeah, it took 3 weeks for me to get all 5 of mine back. Which was
to get
awful.
3 of mine back, I think it took like a week and a half. Maybe. But I applied like right before Christmas.
Yeah.
So obviously my Derby one, it was like I was waiting over Christmas for it and I just got really stressed out. So I was like, fuck it, I'm pulling my application and I'm gonna firm UCLan.
Yeah.
Because you can't firm until you've got all of your application back.
I obviously applied very early because I applied back in October, which is around the competitive course application date. I think I technically applied before the deadline for the
Russell groups.
Yeah, the Russell group and competitive course, of which neither of those apply to me. I'm not on a competitive course, or what they class as a competitive course. Nor am I going to a Russell group, or did I apply to any Russell groups. But then, obviously, because it got into that like backlog of stuff from all of that, it probably took longer. But because they probably work through it a lot quicker with the closest to deadline day that you get, because then they're not working through competitive ones which tend to need interviews. So it's probably why it was a lot quicker.
See, that's a really interesting thing. So I was chatting to a girl that I know who's also taking media. She goes to Emma's college. But I'm still really good friends with her from school. She was meant to be in my film last year and then didn't because she had to work or something. I can't remember what it was. I'm very stuck trying to tell Emma here who it is, though actually
I know who it is now.
And I was chatting to her, literally it was actually earlier on, because we were talking about my music video I'm filming tomorrow. So she got unconditional offers from literally I think every single university she applied to.
Wow, that's really good.
But she was interviewed for every university. I've never had an interview. I don't need an interview.
I take the conditional. No, I take the no interview conditional, honestly.
Oh my god. Very happily am, because I hate interviews. But I was just really surprised at the fact that we're pretty much applying. It's the same course, just at obviously different uni. She's applying around the northeast, and I've obviously applied elsewhere. But the fact that I didn't have to have an interview and she did, it sparked my interest, if that makes sense, as to why I didn't need an interview.
It does probably depend on the uni and what the uni specialises in, or what they would call a competitive course. So say for people up north, if they go to somewhere like the Northern School of Art, which is an art college, an art university, they are obviously arts based. They will interview for their most competitive courses, which will be like a lot of like many like fine art or media, stuff like that, because it is an art school. But other unis like UCLan and stuff, they don't specialise in those subjects. Therefore, it tends to be subjects like nursing. Nursing comes under that because it's not
nursing's a really big one.
Medicine. Nursing, I think occasionally, I think it's a lot of public service stuff. So policing. We have someone that applied for policing. So if you can tell us that we're wrong, please do. We do know someone. Yeah. If he's watching, please tell us we're wrong. If we are.
No, he did. He did have an interview.
He had an interview. So I think it is, especially during COVID, they interview a lot less. That is another thing. Interviews are few and far between. in comparison to like normally, because they don't want to be in contact with grim
people
college
that like,
students
and people that may not even decide to go to university, where you have an interview
Yeah,
and then maybe
exactly.
don't decide to go. It's just kind of
Exactly.
limiting the risk, which I totally understand. I totally get.
I'm happy. I'm
Happy
for
to
it.
not have an interview.
Honestly.
But yeah, I feel like that's like a pretty good roundup of our university experience. I feel like the
So
only other thing
far.
we should probably mention
Hmm.
is the fact of, obviously we've applied throughout COVID, and yes, you tried to get to know the people that you eventually going to go to university
Yeah.
with. But I feel like this year we've started that a lot sooner. Like I'm in
100%.
about 7 group chats for the same university.
Yeah. Oh,
Um,
I don't know. I'm
like
in a
obviously,
lot.
so there was like the original UCLan chat which Emma was in, because Emma obviously applied to UCLan, and then that dismembered, and then we then got the OGs chat, which is like the originals chat, of just like a
Which
group of us
has
that
people
like,
who aren't part of
yeah,
the originals,
which aren't
but
part of the originals, but also like that some of them have decided not to go to
yeah,
UConn, like Emma and the guy we talked about earlier, he's decided not to go to UConn either. So that's just like a chat we have that we just chat in
it's
every
like
now and
our
then.
friendship group, kind of
Yeah, it's more
from
like
the original chat.
yeah. And
Yeah.
then now there's the UConn girls chat, the UConn 21 chat. There's one of the accommodations. I'm in a chat for the accommodation I want to stay in. There's another accommodation chat. There's loads of group chats, and I don't know why I feel like I've gelled with a lot of people that I didn't think I would before I went to university.
Oh yeah, 100%.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So and obviously with Zoomed quite a bit and had calls and yeah.
Yeah. That experience is obviously, it's another thing, weirdly, despite the fact that you'd think it would be very similar, but I've had it quite different because I'm in chats for my course specifically, but not uni specific. So I've met, it's like so it started off as a psychology chat, like we still have it, I think, but we don't really use it anymore. So we had that chat, and then a load of us would talk in it a lot, and we were like, we should probably make a chat so we don't annoy everybody. So we made a chat, and that is now basically like our friendship group. Like we're like a really, really close group of friends, and but we're not all going to uni together. So none of them are going to, at least my firm. I think one of the girls has applied to my insurance, but I can't remember where she stands on that. A couple of the girls have applied to University of the West of England, or UWE. A couple have applied there. But
See,
like
that's the thing though, like very really interesting. You've done that obviously for psychology. I haven't found a single at my university, the university I want to go to, I haven't found a single person that's taking the filmmaking course. I found someone that's taking the sister course, which is the scriptwriting course. But I'm really struggling. Actually, just in general, I don't think I found anyone else that's taking like the practical side of media.
Yeah. I mean, I'm in a psychology chat for both Lancaster and Chester now. I am in those chats. Well, I have found no one that's doing Spanish, or so either the single honours Spanish or the combined honours, because either way you're in the same lectures, because that's just how it works. They don't have a specific psychology and Spanish class as such. You just go in both of the like normal lectures. I haven't found anyone that's doing Spanish at either university. I've only found groups of people doing psychology. A lot of people who were doing languages are going south, like very, very far south, for us.
But honestly, I feel like it's not very stupid, but obviously everyone takes the piss out of Facebook. Has it been like something for the mums to be on, right? Facebook has helped so fucking much. Like that's how I ended up in my I was in a Sunderland group chat at one point. That's how I ended up in my Sunderland group chat.
You're welcome.
That's how Emma put me in the UConn group chat.
Yeah. So I put you in pretty much because I added you to the freshers thing. No, I added you to the Facebook group, the uni, the 2021, that group, honestly, saving grace.
genuinely, if anyone's listening and wanting to just find some friends, UCLan Freshers Group, sorry, just not UCLan, University
UCAS.
Freshers. Yeah, UCAS.
Yeah, it's the UCAS 20. Well, obviously ours is 2021.
Yeah.
But I think they do one every year.
Mm-hmm.
But for whatever year you go in, so for people applying next year, join that group.
Genuinely, I'm in about
Join
three.
it.
There's about 3 different pages that I'm in, and
Mhm.
they're really like.
Yeah.
At one point, my Facebook was just like, "Hi, I'm like, say I'm doing like, hi,
Oh
I'm
yeah,
Katie.
it was mad.
Like I've applied for media at this, this, and this, and like
Mhm.
there's loads of comments on the bottom. Like I'm in a couple of WhatsApp groups as well. I never look at them, but I'm
Oh
in
yeah,
them.
I'm in.
Um,
Oh god, I'm
to the
in.
point where I have about
Yeah,
600 unread messages from one of them.
yeah, it's kind of mad.
So yeah.
But
Um,
that obviously people, it's not like new for people to like meet people going to uni with. Normally, you get put in group chats of like your flatmates and stuff. But I think just such like an importance has been put on it this year, especially. I think
getting to
it
know
did
people
a
definitely.
yeah, I think it did a little bit obviously last year, like towards the end of the COVID became a major thing. So March onwards, I think it definitely became a thing for people in the year above. Like those group chats and stuff definitely became more of a thing. Just because they were like,
Sure.
shit.
Mm.
I have a couple of friends from my orchestra who went to uni this year, and that was definitely a thing, especially with some of the people doing music. So there are, oh gosh, 4 of them that all went to the same university, 3 to do the same course, 1 to do a very similar course. And like they had like a full-on music call, like they had quizzes for like the music department. It was brilliant. Um, but like that only became a thing. That was around May, I think, that was
Yeah.
happening. But obviously these chats have been going on since at least, well, we've been in them since I've been in them since November, I think.
I've probably been in them since about September, October time.
No, you haven't.
Yeah.
No, you haven't. I'm telling you right now, you haven't. You've been in them since probably November, end of November, start of December, mate, not September. I can promise you.
Okay.
You didn't
I have.
exactly know
I
what unis you
literally.
wanted to go to in
I literally have
September.
no concept of time, guys. Like
Yeah,
you're very quickly learn about me. I have no concept of time. Like
you didn't know what unis you wanted to go to in September.
90 year.
Not really.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, the chats in the group really blew up in November, towards the end of November. Um, so obviously quite a lot earlier than I think, because I don't remember my brother ever having this sort of thing.
don't think
And
mine
he
did.
went to uni back in 2016.
I say, why did 2016 pop straight into my head?
2016, I want to say. Because, yeah, he would have been 19 in 2016, yes. I don't remember him ever having. Maybe that's just because he's antisocial. I don't know. But,
Who
yeah.
knows? Yeah,
But,
I feel like that's like a good kind of roundup of our uni experience. Please leave in the comments if you guys have any more like tips and tricks for anyone else who
yeah.
listened for
Because
anything else.
all we've got now is, like, basically playing the waiting game and, like,
Mm-hmm.
obviously applying for student finance, which is an entire other ball game that I'm not prepared for. And accommodation, they're
Yeah.
coming up soon.
Yeah.
They're coming up soon. And then also just buying stuff. Like I genuinely, Katie can back me up on this. I have been hoarding Amazon gift vouchers. I genuinely have almost £200 worth of Amazon gift vouchers on my Amazon account, ready to do a big uni haul. Obviously not for a while because it is February and I'm not moving until September or October.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like when you start thinking about it, you realize how many weird things you need. Like I didn't think of like half the stuff. Like I think you don't realize how much storage you need
Mm.
because I feel like because uni rooms give you none. They don't give you them. Like you also don't think of like I don't know, what's a weird thing I have on my list? I have a list on Amazon. I should have prefaced that. I have a list on Amazon of things to really buy. Stupid,
right? And it's not even like a storage thing. I just like forget to buy razors all the time. And I just didn't realise that.
Yeah, you're gonna have to buy them. We're gonna have to buy them ourselves.
Buy it all yourself. And unless my mum's gonna be a legend and send me care packages down, mum, please do that. I will love you I love you forever anyway, but just a little bit less.
Love you even more.
Love you even more.
No, I don't think I'm ready for like the second-hand embarrassment of like buying like period products. You know, I don't think I'm ready for that. I might just have to do delivery.
Well, Emma, you don't buy your own.
No, I don't. Well, I don't do the shopping. My mum just gets them when she goes shopping. My mum has to build up a stock for me.
I shopping with my mum, so I usually just took them in the trolley. But if not, I have to walk to the local shop. And I swear, whenever I go in, it's always a lad in there. And I have to like buy something else just so I don't feel as
awkward. No, never done it. The most awkward I've had was when I was shopping with my dad. So it's just me and my dad, and I had to like discreetly put them in the trolley. Because I was like, I don't want to have this conversation. Anyway, I was like 14.
That's not what we're talking about this episode.
Not what we're talking about. But it's still you don't think about this sort of thing.
No, it's like stupid things you don't think. Like
hangers.
Like hangers. And what do I think is shit?
For your notice board. Yeah. They give you a notice board but no push pins. Or here's a fun one that's on my list. Like a thing to, you know, like in your cutlery drawer, you have things like to put specific things in. You don't always get those in drawers. They won't give you a specific cutlery drawer. So like having something to put your cutlery in, or like
Emma.
Yes.
That's called not being posh, and you buy one to put in your drawer, because we have one in our drawers.
Yeah, but like, would you think of buying that?
Considering me and my mum have been trying to find one for the last like 3 weeks that fits in our drawer.
Amazon.
See, but our drawer, it's like a weird depth. Anyway, that's not what we're talking about.
Oh my god, we really need help.
Yeah.
Just stuff like that. But yeah.
I think to like save Edit a Katie this week, I feel like we should stop about there. Because we're like,
that's probably a good idea.
Yeah. So again, leave with them. What we leaving in the comments? What are we leaving in the comments?
I don't know.
I said it earlier and I can't remember.
You literally said it. I don't know. We can think of things to put in the comments. What can we think of? Anyone that's applied to uni this year?
Yeah. Tips and tricks.
Tips and tricks.
Where you've applied.
Or for people next year, have you started looking, and if so, where have you started looking?
And one essential you probably can't live without at university.
Oh, what's yours? I'm excited for this now.
Orange juice.
Oh, you've gone down the food route. I wasn't even going to go down the food route, which is shocking for me.
Either orange juice or my blanket I'm crocheting.
Blanket?
Don't literally, I'm going to be a blanket person at uni, because I literally have 3 in my bed already and I'm crocheting a 4th.
You just get like a little box to put them in.
Yeah. Anyway.
Oh my god. Yeah, blanket. Definitely a blanket.
Thank you guys for listening.
Thank you.
We love you guys, and we will catch up with you guys next week.
We shall.
So remember, new upload is on a Saturday. So watch out for videos on a Saturday.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyway.
Thank you.
Bye, you guys.
Bye.